Hello and welcome back to another episode of Critical Reactions with your host Bryan. We're going to finish up today with a special selection, which is where one of you tell me exactly what it is I need to check out. Today's special selection comes at us from Dylan. Every Time I Die from the album From Parts Unknown. The song is Decayin With The Boys. Unfortunately, the editing interrupts the music, so I suggest not using the music video. So we're going to use Apple Music. We'll get the highest quality I have access to. And this track is only 2.5 minutes long. This is short, 150 seconds. Let's dive into this and see what Every Time I Die is bringing to the table. Tons of energy just to start this off. Whoa. I gotta turn this up. Into that heavy groove right there. Nice panning stuff. Really fun idea right here with the two guitars. Completely unexpected moment of pairing the guitars with the vocal line. Yeah, that was a strange one as well. Yeah. I did notice my energy level dropping towards the end of that though. Um and I think that's just a shame. I typically, the little bit that I've heard from these guys, I've enjoyed it. We had one track on live stream. We did a track with full reaction recently. That one I was less hot on, but it was also an album closer, so that might have been a bit of a different take for them. But I enjoy what they're doing usually, and the way the song comes in, the energy they have, the just the raw power of it. I was really on board for, but something unclicked with me about halfway through, and I think it was maybe the repetition. I'm honestly not sure, but you guys don't really come here too often for my subjective takes. Maybe you do. I don't know. Let's get into some objectivity though. Let's figure out what they're doing. Tons of energy. Comes in with uh, tons of drum work. The guitars kick right in, like 10 seconds in or something like that. We get this very driving, fast moving, constant eighth notes, something along those lines. Just constantly driving forward. Occasionally, a few notes will be the same pitch, but a lot of it is just frequently moving. This rising and falling idea in our guitars. Um, a vocalist comes in and just kicks down the door, lays down these powerful, almost screams, but they're cleans. These very clean belts, and the song just gets into it. Um, And I mean that is a way to start a track, right? You want my attention. I was gonna say you want someone's attention. You want my attention in particular. You come in busting doors down. I'll be here for that. Um, and we do this for not a very long time at all. The verse is blistering, comes and goes real quick. We get into a chorus, and I don't know if it was the chorus or the post-chorus. We hit a this beautiful groovy halftime feel. Absolutely love that. Just cut the feel in half, and get to like the super groovy moment and really lean into the rhythmic ideas of what you're doing rather than the melodic ones, and just lean into that. Really great way to take all that high energy that we've been feeling for this entire time and create a little bit of contrast without losing the potential of the energy, right? Convert it into potential energy to get reconverted to kinetic, momentarily. And we come out of that and we move into, I think, our second verse, which is very similar to our first verse as far as our instruments are concerned, but our vocals shift over into harshes. And this was definitely the part where I started to get a little weary of it, where it wasn't so much the beginning of it, but as it continued to go on, I really just wanted some contrast somewhere. Maybe if the guitars had taken over a melodic idea, or variation, variety in the vocal delivery, something, but it just got really static. And this second verse, like I said, I don't know if there were also like pre-choruses in here or something, but this section felt so much longer than the first time we were here, and it was the more static variant of it compared to the first time we were in this in the verse. um and it lingered on for a bit, or at least it felt that way to me. It could have been the same length, I don't know. At this point, we go back into the chorus. We're halfway done with the song, maybe a little over halfway, but honestly, that only means we've listened to like a minute and 15 seconds of music. The song is it is so quick. From here, though, we get into the bridge, which I don't get. Maybe there's a thematic thing going on I'm not privy to. Maybe there's something in the lyrics that will unlock this for me when I dig into that. But we shift drastically to a very different idea. And I really want to like it. The guitar takes over on melody because it's also lining up with our vocal melody. They are doing texture layering there, the exact same notes, the exact same pitches, but we have an electric guitar and a human vocal. Really cool idea. Put a smile on my face. I like that. Listening to the guitar do something that wasn't riffing. So that was cool. And then after this, though, we kind of ventured into I don't even know how to phrase this, like country metalcore, country rock. No, country rock is totally different. That's like a lot of country. But we kind of like vocally, we kind of introduced this twang, and even the guitar work, we kind of shifted to a bluesier style of music while still keeping the energy and voicing of our guitar. We just kind of shifted the notes a little bit to bring a little blues into it. And I think it's just the twang and the blues that kind of gave it this country vibe. And it just kind of came out of nowhere. And much like everything in the song, it was a blink and you'll miss it thing. We got a whole, I don't know, 16 bars out of it at this blistering tempo, not a lot of time. And we were back into that pure metalcore driving chorus. I think we went back to the chorus after the bridge. And it was that whole bridge. I don't know how to take it. It's it came out of nowhere, and before I could figure out what it was doing, we already left it. It was just a very strange moment. And it was only half the bridge. The first half of the bridge made plenty of sense to me. We kind of stuck with some of the ideas we were already working with. We just did them in different ways, such as the guitar and vocal layering. Now I turned the volume up pretty loud on this. It came in, I was listening to it, I was like jamming. I was like, yeah, I could get into this. I turned the volume up some more though, because I want to hear it. I want it, I'm really enjoying the music. And this is something I could see myself listening to on my own time as well. In fact, is this that band? No. I'm thinking of a different band then. Their latest album came out in 2021. There's a band that came out this year that I kind of reminds me of them. I thought maybe this was them, but it's not. Anyways, I'm getting off topic here. I turned up the volume though, and you may have noticed that I've talked about the drums, the guitar, and the vocals, and that's kind of it. I don't know if it's just because I was jamming along casually. Maybe I just wasn't looking hard enough. I really didn't hear a lot of bass. I'm going to put that one on me though, because I was not as critically listening as I normally would for the first half of this when I was really into it. But I honestly I have no recollection of what the bass was doing here. I can't remember a single bass line, anything. There was one other cool thing that was going on. We had this really neat idea in the end of the second verse, middle of the second verse. Our left guitar, I think our left guitar was continuing to do the same riff we already had. Our right guitar, though, decided to go textural and just started making these sounds. I don't remember what they were. I just remember that there's this huge gap. Like the song kind of it lost its width and kind of narrowed out a little bit. And even our left guitar that was over there continuing the riff was kind of a bit anemic, almost like it was compressed down a little bit. And it felt small. Our center channel might have even lost the bass in this section. Maybe the drums lightened up a little bit. I don't know. Just like the song bottomed out. There's just like nothing anymore except for these sound effects over here from one guitar and a very narrow uh, melody going on the other side. It was very interesting. It caught me off guard and was like, hey, why are you listening to this casually? Snap out of this, check out what's happening. It was one of those moments that pulled me out of the casual joy for that critical joy. There's some things to dig into. Let's figure it out. Um, but that's something I would need to listen to again to really dig into. But it was to dig into like its purpose. But it was very cool just to have that there to change things up a little bit because they very easily could have just kept running with the verse they had already written and done once. I guess that's about it. Structure's pretty typical. A B A B C B. Um, there aren't any key changes except for the little bluesy shift there at the end of the bridge. Time signature's 4/4 throughout. It's just a banger of a metalcore track. Nothing really here out of the norm. Just them doing what they do really well. I'm going to take a second here to check out the lyrics and see how we compare this into our understanding of the music. So, it seems this song is about having somebody help you improve yourself. But it's done so in almost a like a Halloweenish kind of vibe. There's this spooky theme that kind of drapes over everything. Oh, there is that one really cool line at the beginning. So the verse one basically says, "I'm not afraid of the dark, but there's a girl that they know that puts chills down their crooked spine." Um, and the I love this. I don't know why I forgot this happened. He says I get chills and almost has this rhythmic element to it that implies getting chills like the waviness that you get when you get the chills in your body. Um, Very cool. Anyways, though, the crooked spine, I think, is an allusion towards being imperfect, right? Or possibly even more directly, if we look at this imperfection as being a worse person, is that you're a crooked person. You're not walking the straight line, right? You're not living a straight life. Like, we use straight a lot as a way to represent people who are star citizens, right? The goody good two shoes, right? They don't have a crooked bone in their body. So I think that's what they're leading into here. A person that was either so good or caused them to see themselves or whatever. But anyways, just this person's presence put a chill down their crooked spine, almost like their presence was trying to correct the spine as it is. The chorus just says, "Kill the lights, I've seen too much," almost as if trying to shy away from this. But as we get further and further into this, we get more lines. Like the beginning of verse 2 says, "It's crystal clear and uglier than I thought. Desperate and lonely juggernauts illuminate the filth. The glow of your righteous heart will shine upon the world, and I'll scurry back into the dark." Almost to say that, I self reflect on myself, right? This light has caused me to realize how dark I am. And as we go further and further into the verses, we begin to explore elements of salvation and trying to fix yourself. In fact, one of the last things we hear, other than the repeated chorus of "Kill the Lights," is, "I want to tie up a rope and crack my crooked spine." That this person, this light, this whatever, has caused you to self reflect so much that you would do anything to straighten your spine out, to walk a better life. Um, and I dig that message. I don't know what it has to do with the music at all. It feels like one of those times when the band just writes a killer jam in their style and the lyricist has a message they want to get out and they just pair the two. I'm not going to say that there's too many moments in here that line up. I I read through the bridge. I don't know where that country vibe comes from. It's not really reflected in the lyrics at all. It kind of fits musically, but it's still a bit odd. So, I don't know. I don't think this is a track where the themes are supposed to line up, and that's perfectly fine. Those are my thoughts on Every Time I Die's Decayin' with the Boys. Did you enjoy it? Did you not? Is there anything you'd like to add on to what I said, or maybe even correct me on? Let me know down in the comments. Above that, in the description box, is a link for Linktree. Takes you to this menu right here. Has multiple ways for you to support the channel if you'd like, a link to the Discord community, and a link to my music if you're interested in that. Above that, if you could, like, subscribe, and ring the bell. I greatly appreciate all three of those. Alright, that wraps it up for today. We'll be back tomorrow, 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 10 p.m. UTC, as usual. We'll continue checking out gibberish band names, and we'll look at another special selection. Until next time, remember to be critical, not cynical, of the music you listen to, and have a fantastic morning, afternoon, or evening, whenever you choose to watch my videos.